What is up? You are listening to Lyle's Movie Files. Jace, you've been watching Batwoman, and you said that I should finish watching season 2 because it's been good.
Yes. I actually they just had their season finale, and no, I will not give you spoilers because it sets up their next season well. It helps the series move forward, and like I said, I think probably the last 6 episodes have done a very good job because like I said, when you jumped off, I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm like, if y'all are gonna bring back Kate Kane, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I mean, maybe just for podcast topics, but it actually did. Like, okay, we closed the storyline that you guys didn't think we could close, but we did it. We're gonna make it all make sense for you, and you'll be good.
They have the Shang-Chi trailer, The Legend of the Ten Rings. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have. I think it's cool. I'm excited. I think I felt better about the rings being on his arms and not actual rings, and I know why they did that, I guess. You know, they were like, oh, the average fan might say, oh, you're just copying the Infinity Stones. I'm like, no, they're two different things, but whatever. But, you know, I understand why they did the armbands. I don't mind that as much, because as soon as I saw the dragon-like dude, can't remember the name. Anyway, the dragon-like dude from that planet, I was like, oh, they're keeping with it. I mean, why not? You got a talking raccoon. Let's go full Shang-Chi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I'm kind of excited just to see how far they're taking this.
And apparently, I didn't totally notice this, but in the trailer, Abomination is there fighting in the tournament. But he is fighting Wong, which I did not see. I didn't catch that was Wong. And maybe we're going to see a few more other familiar faces from the MCU in this tournament. Who would you like to see battling in this? I think it would be great to see Iron Fist. I have very high doubts if we will actually see one.
It'd be cool to see Iron Fist, but the way they left it, gonna shoot him? I don't know what's happening, right? Definitely Jessica Jones. I know your boy from Luke Cage ain't coming back, but it'd be cool if it was like here's a teaser for the new actor who's playing Luke Cage. Like, you know, something like that. That would be cool. But Jessica Jones would be fire.
Yeah, because somebody out of Cage.
Yeah, somebody out of the Defenders. You hit the nail on the head. Yeah, somebody out of Defenders. I don't care who.
Yeah. But I think like Colleen Wing would probably. I mean, like she's trying to get her powers. We might
doing Cyclops anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like we all might have our issue with Iron Fist, but that second season was better, and it was setting up something. And you're like, you guys had the actors. I mean, Ben Jones was probably not the right Iron Fist, but
there was nothing wrong with him. They just wrote him so whack the first season. Anytime he interacted with Mike Coulter's Luke Cage, it was like, oh, okay, this is Power Man and Iron Fist. And that dynamic was great, whether it was in Luke Cage or in Iron Fist. And it showed you he was fine in the role. It was just, they didn't know how to write him in that first season of Iron Fist.
And he didn't train either at all, where you can tell some of the actors definitely trained a little bit. He ain't trained nothing. Sorry, he just didn't. That was very telling. You could tell in the middle of the first season. Second season, he looked a lot better. That's all. That's why I need to throw that out there because it was clear he did not train. Do you not remember when he picked up those nunchucks?
You know, I haven't watched the first season of Iron Fist since the first time I watched it.
Nunchucks was my lesson. Nunchucks were my weapon in martial arts. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, this dude just didn't train. Got it. It was terrible.
Okay, this had that cool RZA directed episode though in the first season. That was pretty good.
It wasn't enough to carry that first season. Sorry.
All right,
we're gonna dog that first season for life.
We got some Star Wars news. Chief, I'm sure you're going to be really upset about this. Lucasfilm and Disney have renamed Boba Fett's starship, and it will no longer be called Slave One. What's your thoughts on this?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I don't know what to think anymore, man. You know, what can you do anymore, man? Everything is offensive to everyone and everything. Like, was there a big outcry from blacks about Slave One?
I've never heard one person.
So
outrage.
Fun theory on this one.
I just, sometimes, man, they just go too far in their corrections. I've always found that, the things that need to be corrected, you always got to fight for, and the things that don't need to be corrected, they're always willing to give you. It's Star Wars, man. Nobody gives a damn. I just, you know what I mean? Like, all Star Wars fans want you to do is make a decent movie, so we can enjoy, the past. Some things like, you watch Eddie Murphy, Raw or Delirious, or even any of the old comics from back in the day. Like, God damn, you being that trying, like, you know what I mean? If you're one of those people, you can't even listen to the old things, man. But, like, there was a time where, and I get that it was time everything was socially accepted, but I'm just saying, like, everything doesn't need to be canceled, and everything that at a time was okay, in a sense, for some, you don't need to attack now. Like, people have moved on, people have grown. If that person has grown, and, Slave One, okay, if it was a slave ship, it was a slave ship. Or if it was, if they did slave type things on a ship, just because you're saying slave, revert back and be like, oh, blacks. You know what I mean? Like, you can make a movie with slaves in the movie, and you know what I mean? It's okay. It's okay to name things.
You know what, Chief? Instead of them going, hey, let's change the ship from Slave One, they could have just had Finn be a Jedi. Like that.
Whoa. You've gone too far. That's because we have a black saber.
Yeah,
a better role.
Right. Foster inclusion and understanding, not renaming a ship that no one cared about. How many people even Star Wars fans, how many people actually knew that was the name of the damn ship? Like, let's be clear.
I thought the name was cool.
I had no idea.
You know what I'm saying? The name is fine. It's just, and it's another side of the coin of there are no black people in the room. Say, hey, no one cares about that. It's just a bunch of white folks trying to be hypochondriac-y or overreacting because they don't know what to do. Instead of just hiring, I don't know, black writers or somebody in charge in the room of color, I'll be nice. I meant black, but I'll be nice, of color, and say, hey, no one cares. Again, I've been in these rooms, around these rooms, and hearing, like, or even been asked a question, is this offensive? Is this offensive? I'd rather somebody ask somebody black around the room, the janitor, somebody, whoever you're not hiring to actually do the work that you should be hiring to do the work, should be asked the question, hey, is this offensive? No one cares. Okay, cool. What do you think we could do? Well, I saw the movie and the brother looked like a goofy dude. Fix that. But they're not even asking the janitor. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's another remnant of no people of color in the room. That's my thing.
I'd much rather them do a revised sequel trilogy that doesn't make Finn look like a goof. Hollering for Red the whole time. Speaking of movies getting released after fan outrage, there was a trending topic on Twitter. I know you won't believe what franchise this has anything to do with, but fans were calling on Warner Media and Warner Brothers to hashtag make the Batfleck movie. I feel like this is one of those situations where you have people, paying customers, who are saying, hey, this is what we want. There's a franchise called Fast and Furious. They never have this problem. Fans say, we want this. No problem. We got you. Hey, how's Han gonna get killed by the dude that's now hanging out with Dom and company? You know what? That's a good point. Let's bring Han back. They don't go, well, for the betterment of the saga, we should just keep Han dead because it makes more sense with the artistic direction of which we're going. Screw that. The fans want this. We're gonna make the fans happy. Javon, why is this so hard? Why does Fast and Furious, which makes billions of dollars at the box office, get it? But Warner Brothers somehow is confused and conflicted about what they should do with their Batman and DC Extended Universe.
And by the way, hey guys, I'm sorry. I honestly feel like they know what they're doing. They have a plan. When you don't have a plan, you're just throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks, right? I think when they came to the Fast and the Furious movies, this reboot or whatever you want to call this next chapter, they had a plan, but they also were open to suggestions. I guess part of realizing you're not figuring it all out all the time, and you need to have that feedback from the fans. It's these people who are going to see the movie. Why not make them happy? Why not get what they want? Entice them to come to the theater to see what you're putting out. DC is that part of it. I really feel like when you get the DC universe, when it comes to their movies, they don't have a plan. We've discussed this ad nauseum. They don't have a plan. They don't what the fans want to see. They put these egomaniacs in charge, and they run amok with what their creative vision is. Be damned whether it's going to be viewed by the public or panned by the public. They don't have a real plan, I don't think. And that's why they're going to continue to lose. They can't do anything right. They take one step forward, they take 9 steps back. We haven't seen anything like that. Well,
yeah, it's really weird because it's like the Fast and Furious was like the only franchise that watched what Marvel Studios did and said, bet, we can do that too. We're not going to give Dom superpowers, but he's going to be a pretty souped up regular dude who can smash through walls now. He's going to be a mini Hulk, and Rock is going to flex his cast off. But y'all aren't going to care because we're going to do it fun. And Roman and Tej are going to just do their stuff, and you're like, yeah, that's great. And it works, and people aren't going, man, the Fast and Furious franchise sucks. They literally came up with a hashtag, Justice for Han. They reacted, responded. People are like, yes, Han is back. Sign me up. These jokers are getting hashtags. Release the Snyder Cut. Continue the Snyderverse. Make the Affleck movie. And they're like, nah, we've got Robert Pattinson for you. He's our new Batman. Also, we've got Michael Keaton as Batman. Y'all better enjoy it. It's like, that's not what people are asking for. Maybe Michael Keaton's Batman coming back is cool, but that's not what anyone asked for. Chief, what's your take on this?
You're on mute, sir.
Yeah, I realized that. You're correct. That's not what anyone asked for. Who the hell asked for Michael Keaton back in any movie? When's the last time we saw him in that Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield? That's the last Michael Keaton appearance.
No. Tom Holland.
Birdman.
Vulture
with Andrew Garfield, right?
Oh, Tom Holland.
It was okay. Okay. Well, it must have been one of the first ones then.
It was the first of the two. Holland.
Yeah. So there we go. We're not getting nothing from DC we asked for. Nobody wanted to see Ben Affleck. I still, to this day, didn't want to see Ben Affleck. I feel like you had a young Superman, you had a young Wonder Woman, and you had middle-aged Ben Affleck. And I'm like, why didn't you put a young Batman with the young team?
Because they've always been criminals, Chief.
Huh?
They've always been criminals, Chief. Listen, I will stand up and say Affleck is my favorite of the Batman actors on the big screen because the Joker didn't do a scrunchy face voice like Christian Bale. Talk to me! He didn't do any of that. He just did a regular voice that was distorted, which made a lot more sense. Michael Keaton's Batman was cool for the time period. Val Kilmer, I don't know what he was doing. George Clooney was horrifically miscast. And, Adam West did his thing in the 66 Batman movie. But that's a totally different beast, too. I don't know about Robert Pattinson. I'm not necessarily against or for his version. But Affleck's been the best one so far to me.
Well, I never liked Affleck because whenever I saw Batman, I thought of Affleck. So, middle-aged Affleck at that. Just like when I know when I think of this new Batman with Robert Pattinson, I'm thinking 145-pound Batman. You know what I mean?
That's like the shimmer.
Right, a shimmering 145-pound Batman. So DC is, that universe is glutton for punishment. They just want it. My father, when I was young, man, he used to tell me a hard head makes a soft ass, and mine was gonna be jelly by the time it was all over. And I think that's DC. You know what I mean? I think eventually people will stop going to see that. I think, you know what I mean? People will start saying, well, you know what? We'll catch DC on cable or HBO Max or whatever it's going to be the case. Sometimes you watch a movie for free that you want to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you didn't go to the theater, but it came on, you know what I mean? So I think people are going to eventually get sick of DC's path. I think DC gets the views that it gets now with people hoping for a Marvel experience. I think once they get through their heads that they're not going to get a Marvel experience, they're going to get a DC experience. You know what I mean? Like you ever when you was younger or whatever, when you weren't making so much money and you went into the store and you had Kellogg's cornflakes, and then you had Giant or Safeway cornflakes, and you was just like, it's the same. And you got home and you bit into those Safeway cornflakes or those Giant cornflakes, and you was like, yo, I need that damn Tiger on the box.
More sugar, please.
Yeah, like, what is this that I'm eating? So I think DC is that. They're the off-brand cornflakes to our Marvel Kellogg's. You know what I mean? And I think once people realize that we're getting the substitute and that they're not trying to put any effort in their show, they're just like, we're going to throw this out. The people will eat it because of Marvel. I think that's what's going on now. People will eat it because of Marvel. We're going to continue to get this crap, and eventually the people will speak. I mean, we're in that era now where people will be like, that's not for me. So, it's been how long since Shazam? Just off the break. How long has that been?
2 years. That was 2019, right?
We don't get a pandemic pass, Chief.
Bro, people were working during the pandemic. I mean, Tom Cruise did a movie during the pandemic last year.
All right, so I just looked it up. Shazam was 2019. So the pandemic would have been right when they would ideally shoot. So 2 years, they would have shot when all this started.
Okay,
so,
no, but there should have been another movie that was filmed right after Shazam wrapped up. There should have been
Wonder Woman 1984.
No,
I
said a movie that was not trash.
But yo, Chief and Jason said this on podcast past that they need to be doing more consistent movies like the Marvel joints. Maybe not annoyingly consistent like back in the day with Jay-Z and DMS just going back and forth every 6 months. I'm talking like, you know what I mean? Like consistently though. Y'all were saying that past, and now because of the pandemic, it's showing that, hey, Marvel's like, well, we got these shows and the next movie coming out, and we got the shows teasing the next movie. DC ain't got jack but cartoons, a good Superman Lois again. I mean, think about it. I mean, I love the show, but how many of these are we got?
You know what DC's saying? DC's saying, you're hungry, ain't you?
Right, you're hungry. Here's the same food, we got you. Now, every now and then, you're going to be using Chiefs analogy. Every now and then, you're going to get the Kirkland brand. It's not all right wine. It's all right wine. It's all right good stuff. It's not bad. It's all right sausages, steaks. That's all good. Kirkland brand's the shit, honestly, man. I love it. So every now and then, you're going to get a Wonder Woman. Every now and then, you're going to get a Shazam. You know what I mean? You're going to get the Snyder Cut. You know what I mean? You're going to get the big sandwich. The Snyder Cut was like the big sandwich. That joint was 4 hours. You ain't going to eat that joint, but it's good as hell, right? Like, I ate it all at once. I loved it. But then, every now and then, they go down like, I mean, Chiefs analogy's perfect. Every now and then, they go back to Giant Brand, Safeway brand. Not Giant Brand. Safeway brand.
Look,
Safeway brand was god awful.
No, we're getting that. We didn't get Safeway Select. We're getting Dollar General. We're getting like the soda.
Dollar General cereal.
It's Shasta Cola to Marvel's Coca-Cola, you know.
Shasta
Tactical cereal. Tactical soda. Cola.
Chicken. This is Royal Farms versus going to Popeyes. You know? They have no plan. They have no plan. And it shows. It really shows. Is anybody going to watch this DC show on the limited run DC show on TNT they've been promoting?
Titans? You talking about Titans, Javon?
I guess, yeah. It's going to be on TNT.
Titans' first season set up everything. It was pretty decent in terms of a setup once you got past the notion that they don't care about what people who like the comics want to see. They're just going to do their own thing. And if you like it, great. If you don't, screw you. But that's really how they roll with everything. We're going to just shake up everything that you like about these characters. So Dick Grayson's a fun-loving, happy-go-lucky, family-oriented kind of hero. He's going to be dark and broody on this one. And, you know, it's just how it is. They just shake everything up because they don't want people who read the comics to know what they're getting. And I don't know why they take that approach, but that's what they do. And
You like season 2?
no. I said season 1 is fine once you get used to the idea, hey, I'm used to a happy, bubbly Starfire. That's not Corey on Titans. I like Beast Boy changing into different animals. No, dude, he's just going to turn into a tiger the entire time. So once you get used to their changes for the sake of changes, it's solid. The second season is really good, though, because then it's like, all right, we've set up this version of the Titans, and within this version of Titans, second season is really good.
You're used to dog shit on your pizza. It's actually pretty good.
I mean, you know, it's like what she said, though. I mean, it's just like you get used to settling for DC stuff, where it's like, I don't go in thinking this is going to be as good as a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That experience, and especially now that Marvel's like, all right, you know what? What's one thing we haven't done? Oh, TV shows. Let's do it in a way that we have it under control of Marvel Studios. And the quality is crazy. You're never going to see that with DC stuff because they're so busy, like, not being on the same page with everybody. They're just going to be like, yo, let's do this with the Titans. This would be something fresh and different that no one's ever seen or wanted. It's like, hey, let's drop Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill's Batman and Superman just because. Yeah,
You'll never
people
get
like the Justice League. So it's their fault.
It was Agatha all along. You'll never get that.
Yeah. You won't get a mean thing off of anything that they do. So it's just
except for bring the Snyder cut. You know, you're only gonna get me for things that right. Bring the Nightfall.
Like, y'all are not gonna have it your way. I don't care what you want, what you want to spend your money on. We're not doing that. What we're doing is this, and I hope you like it. They are your parents making dinner. Hey, can we get McDonald's? No. You're going to get this lima beans and roast beef and mashed potatoes and be happy. I want McDonald's, though. You got McDonald's money? No. Guess I'm eating this roast beef. I guess I'm getting this episode of The Flash.
You know, the only problem with that is we're adults. And we're like, hey, Mom, I want to run to McDonald's. And your mom's like, no, you're going to eat what I put on the table. And you're like, I don't even live here. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
And McDonald's is so,
you're like, I don't even live here anymore. What are you talking about? I got to stay for dinner. I don't want this. Your father looking over at you like, You know what I mean? That's what DC's giving you. You know, you don't even live in that house no more, and they're trying to make you eat. You know what I mean? I cook liver. Mine, you know I don't like to eat liver. Boy, sit down. I'm like, what? I'm 45 years old, mine. I ain't staying for no liver. You know what I mean?
That's really what Wonder Woman 1984, like, they just left that up there on HBO, you know, on the home screen on HBO Max for, like, months, it felt like. I was like, what the hell are you throwing, like you said, liver at me?
Right. That's what I'm saying. DC, that's DC's motto. You're hungry, ain't you? So
Not that hungry. I'll go watch a cartoon. You got the catalog of cartoons? Perfect. I'm gonna watch a cartoon.
They DC, man, everything they've done, they've failed at so far. Even like you think about Disney Plus and what it is. DC Universe came out first. Like you had the opportunity to turn that thing into what Disney Plus is. Or even if it was half as good, it would have been good. Because Disney Plus is awesome. You go on there, you don't even have to watch. I mean, there's shock shows, there's whatever. DC could have hooked up with a movie studio, brought them in on it.
Warner Brothers. They are owned by Warner Brothers.
And just did their thing, man. But DC, they're like, you know what? You're thirsty, ain't you? Go on and grab that Vagabond soda. It's 85 cents for 2 liters.
No combination.
I remember I was telling my man, alcoholics at a point in time, they stopped drinking the good stuff, and they just want that feeling. DC Universe is Bella Croft vodka. You can get about a gallon of that damn thing for about $5. It comes in a plastic jug, and they have not distilled that thing. That thing is grainy as hell. It tastes like you're eating dirt and corn.
Lower on the shelf, and you'll get I think Zelco is a little worse. Jason.
Man, I tell you can drop that bottle on the ground, it's not gonna break. It's plastic.
Yeah, dude did that.
It's not gonna break. You got this. Oh, it's cool. Don't worry about it.
No problem.
We got a gas. Pour that in there. It will.
Coolant gas.
It will power your car. Yeah, man, that's DC Universe. Like that. You know what? We could take the corn and the dirt out of it, but we not. Here you go. And people have been, I don't like the taste, But it's, you go back and be like, man, look, maybe they slap a Kirkland brand on it this time. You know what I mean? And every once in a while, they'll throw a decent movie out there. So you like, yeah, here they go. They're going to do their thing. And then they slide that Velacroft and get at you. It is what it is, man. DC is going to be who they are, man. And we've got to recognize that for them, man. We've got to recognize we're not going to get the movies we like to see from them. We're going to get the movies they want us to see. And, they blew it so far with Superman. They blew it with the second sequel of Wonder Woman. We got the Aquaman thing, but I don't even know. Are we due for Aquaman 2 now?
We have a sequel, but Mira's out.
Right.
Wait. What do you mean she's out?
Yeah, she's out. Yeah, Mira's out.
I thought
actress who played Mira is out. She didn't pass the physical.
Damn.
That's Amber Heard, right?
Amber Heard's out. Yep.
Wow.
How did she get? What happened?
She did. Technically, what they said is she did not pass the physical.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Technically, they're saying she was out of shape, but it might have been kind of a part of the Johnny Depp saga.
Yeah, man, that's that bull. And plus, man, let me tell you something, man. They put you into shape. That's what I'm saying. That's another DC stupidism.
What is that about?
You know what I mean? They hire trainers to get people in shape, man. I've seen every movie they do, they hire somebody to get that person into shape. They have weapon trainers. Like, you think Keanu Reeves knew what he was doing with guns before John Wick or the
Hey Chief, before you go any further, this is exactly what I was talking about. Constantine, starring Keanu Reeves, is leaving HBO Max tonight.
Okay, seriously, there was no indication that was leaving. It's literally like, it's July 1st, Constantine's gone. We had no clue that was leaving. There was no, hey,
But why? I mean, why even take it off? Like,
Constantine is a hell of a movie.
Yeah. Is there really so many DC movies that we can take one off and be like, yeah, we're good. We'll put these 5 in this place.
Right, and do what? And do what with it? What are we gonna see? 84 in this place? What's coming, DC?
Oh, hey, Batman Forever.
That's already there.
Everybody, freeze! I mean, come on, man. What are we talking here? What's wrong with our lives, man? Is this what it is? Is this what it's come to? I don't know what to do, Javon.
I know exactly what to do. I'm not giving them a dime. I ain't giving them a dime. I'm gonna keep up my trend, man, because that's the only way they're gonna get it. We gotta stop as consumers consuming garbage. That's the only way to have or affect the change, or see the change that we want. You know, they have so much to work with, but they're giving us nothing. And consumers, we have to demand more, or we make them feel it with our dollars or lack thereof. Man, they're gonna continue to give us trash if we keep consuming it. My full. DC they've got nothing to offer. They've got nothing to offer as far as I'm concerned, and it's a shame because they could be doing so much more. They could be doing.
It should be really easy, Javon. Like, they should fall into good movies because they've got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, the Justice League, Justice Society, Teen Titans. They should stumble into stuff that people are excited about. Because DC's, well, I don't know if that's true anymore, but once upon a time, they had way more brand awareness than Marvel.
Okay, like Jeff, think about it. If DC had done what they should have, we should have got the Judas Contract of Titans in movie form, and it would have been the most awesome movie ever. But DC couldn't figure out how to get out of their own way. Like, there could have been a long Halloween movie of the new Batman post Christopher Nolan. It's almost like the animated side. It's like, we have all these great graphic novels to work with. Let's work with them. Like, as you said last week, we had the Reign of Superman. Y'all couldn't do this? You have the source material. Just follow the daggone source material, and you will put a great product out.
Yeah.
That's a dumb. What the hell? Suicide Squad. I mean.
Yeah, was that the one with Flash? With the Flash, when he got the reverse Flash, got hit in the head with the bullet, and he had slowed.
I'm talking about the live action, but yeah, the death. No, you're talking about the death joint. Yeah, the death. What is it? The Hell to Pay. Hell to Pay was.
That joint was awesome, man.
Hell to Pay
that joint was awesome.
Yeah, man. I got it on every format. I didn't care. I was like, I'm buying this joint. I'm putting it on everything digitally just so I can watch it whenever I want to watch it. I was like that for that first couple months that joint was out. I love that joint because it was a great sequel to the first Suicide Squad animated one, Attack on Arkham, right? That was great.
I didn't see that, man. I gotta see that.
But it's good. It's really good. But I'm talking about the live action Suicide Squad. It was quite terrible. I was sitting here you had all the pieces, and it just didn't come together. That's what it was. It was everything was there. I was like, I don't understand what's wrong with this movie. I couldn't put my finger on it. There were good.
And the Joker was my man from The Breakfast Club. What was it, Judd Nelson? What's his name? That's who the Joker was.
It looked like 3 people I went to high school with. I'm like, I've done the gospel before, B. This is so 90s. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It looked like my brother from that was next door to us at Drew Hall. It was a goth brother, Jason. Remember him? He was on my floor.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, good guy, but definitely would have turned out like this Joker. Straight up 90s house guy, a lot of knives.
Chocolate Daddy.
No direction, right?
Well, what did you guys think about the new Suicide Squad trailer? So that dropped. They're going to be fighting Starro, and it looks like it's going to be crazy.
Crazy as in Chocolate Daddy crazy?
Yeah.
This one has potential because they got a Marvel Studios cat in James Gunn to direct it. And James Gunn did this while Disney put him on timeout for tweets that they should have found before they hired him.
Ones they found and just didn't give a shiznit about.
Yeah, or that, if you'd like to go that direction. So he probably made that movie with Roar. I'm going to show you guys what y'all gave up. So I have a feeling that will be better than a lot of Disney films or DC films, just because James Gunn is going to go nuts trying to do a Marvel. Like that's probably going to be the closest we get to a Marvel film in a DC movie.
I'm with you, Jeff. On the cinematography might be you might be like, damn, that joint looks good. It was a good looking movie. But who wrote the movie?
James Gunn.
Did he write the movie too?
Yeah.
Okay, he wrote and directed. Okay. I was about to say, because you get those DC writers. I mean, they're the same people who are writing Supergirl. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. That's one. And number two, look at this example, right? Like, you got Tyler Perry, and he just throws great actors at his crap, and it's still crap. So I think DC is going to end up being like that. You just got a fair director, good director who can put obscure characters together, which it looks like he's trying to do. But these are the most obscure as I'm like, I forgot about two of them. Like, I just didn't remember. I had to go to the encyclopedia. Like, who the hell is this real? Yeah, these are real old school characters like Polka Dot Man and all that, right? So I'm like,
Yeah,
I think
he's
going to be in a space that I think he's going to be in a space that he just can't do well. I'm sure something is just not going to gel. It's just kind of how DC works. It's just crap.
You know, the funny thing is, like, by having disposable characters almost makes it, like, you remember how, like, in the first Suicide Squad, when they actually killed off the random dude for no reason
Slipknot.
Yeah, like, they just killed him for, to prove they were Suicide Squad. And it was like, well, I didn't care about him at all. But he's, if you make a funny character like, what's his name? Pete Davidson's character. You make him explode for like 5 seconds after making a joke because Amanda Wallace just pissed off. Like, okay, like that tells you how disposable these guys are. I think that will help Suicide Squad. And then it's like, all right, we know we have Peacekeeper. He's going to have an HBO Max show. So they trust that John Cena made a credible Peacekeeper. Eldris Alba's character looks good. I mean, like, he's not Deadshot, but there's kind of a thing going on, like he's trying to be a better person or something. And all they have to do is just like make a better movie, like, and not make a dancing enchantress be the big bad, and you should be okay.
That was terrible. Hey, Javon, you remember when everybody had that hashtag Peacekeeper series? Do you remember that? And HBO Max said, "We got y'all." They actually didn't deliver that. One thing they are delivering, though, September 7th, you can get the Snyder Cut of Justice League on Blu-ray, 4K, and DVD. Jason.
Can we download it? On Amazon Prime or one of the other apps?
Usually give you the digital thing on the DVD. You can just put it in your whatever, Apple TV, whatever you got.
I'm not looking at it in the listing. All right,
wasn't there a thing that DVDs they weren't going to do this on Blu-ray?
I don't know. No, that was Disney and Marvel deals with their Disney Plus shows.
I'll give DC one thing. This is brilliant to do because you're getting paid twice on that movie. Because now we've seen it for free. Those of us who realized that the movie was damn good, we're going to go ahead and buy it again.
Right.
And, and erase that other copy out of our damn heads.
And collection. I've already sold mine.
Yeah. So I guess it's a pretty good move by them, man. But, I don't know what Snyder's asking for, but they damn sure better give it to him. So,
the problem is this Blu-ray, 4K, whatever, does gangbusters in sales. And it's like, clearly obvious that people who are into this Snyderverse want this to continue. So if it makes like $100 million in home video sales, are they gonna be like, yeah, nah, we're firm on no Snyder Cut?
See, now they've got to go with the money. Even a fool goes where the money is, in a sense.
DC's a fool.
Well, DC, but this is the thing.
DC
We've been watching the DC movies.
They do the same thing. They just make bad decisions in the off season. That's it. That's all they're gonna do.
We're just now talking about making a stand against DC. We've been watching that crap Like, so it's not like we've not seen pretty much every DC movie they put out.
That is untrue.
What
I
have you
was
seen?
cutting at Birds of Prey and whatever the rest of that
Oh well, listen,
title
hold on.
is. I was like,
Hold
that's
on. Nobody was going to see Birds of Prey or the Harley Quinn movie anyway. Let's just
untrue. Jeff was excited.
Let's be honest. That was.
No, I mean, like, think about it. Like, DC is giving, like you said, it gives us a trickle. Like, hey, you guys figured out what you did wrong, and we'll give you that chance. And then you gave us Wonder Woman 1984, and it's like, no more chances. We're done with you guys. We don't trust you. You had it easy layup just to make a movie, and they screwed it up. It's like, how do you gave the right director, you had the right actress, and you guys couldn't do that. And we're not. I mean, luckily we watched it on HBO Max. But if we had paid $30 to $40 to watch that, we would be like, I'm not buying another Warner Brothers DVD, Blu-ray. I'm canceling HBO Max. I'm done with y'all.
Yeah, that Wonder 84 was horrible. I think, what did I show you that? I sent you a thing about Superman today, right? They're going to make
a third
Ant-Man 3.
Yes.
Before they make another Superman movie. Like we're coming up on a third Ant-Man and only one Man of Steel. Think about that for a second. Think about the impact of Ant-Man. Right. Ant-Man in comics or Ant-Man on people versus the impact on Superman on people. And Ant-Man is coming out with its third series. And we have only seen one Superman. Ant-Man is coming out with a third movie. Yo, right?
Hey, Chief. Just like Javon said, you guys didn't really want that, so we're gonna give you a Black Superman movie instead.
No one asked for.
I want the one we've been watching. And then after that, after you give me three or four movies of the white Superman, you know what? Let's switch to the black one then. You give me the black one then. I want to finish the Man of Steel series out.
I mean, just in continuity's sake, I'm down for the Black Superman, obviously. You all know that. And we can explore Earth 23 after we get like 3 real good solo Superman movies.
Yes.
We had not, I think we had a half of one. I revisited it. I'm like, okay, there's some good parts. But then I saw the bad ones that I did not like. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little too much CGI fight scene. But, all right.
And then we got a half a Superman movie sort of with the Snyder Justice League cut.
Right.
Because that Justice League cut, the original one was garbage.
Yeah.
Superman was garbage in that joint. This new one, Superman was, you were like, yeah, this is what we need more of Superman. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Man of Steel come out. When did that come out?
Man of Steel came out
2013.
Yeah, 13. So this
13.
was a year after the first Avengers film. If that gives you some context, Javon.
Exactly. The end of the Chris Nolan Batman. It was the end of the Chris Nolan Batman. Think how long that was. Exactly.
Piggyback Chief with the statement of Ant-Man is in his third film in that franchise, which is a franchise, by the way. We won Superman. Marvel's moving into phase what? What is this, phase 4 or something like that?
Phase 4 that concludes with the Fantastic Four because they have a plan and they follow said plan in a sensible way.
It is. They still can't figure out what's next. They don't know what's next.
They're they're looking in the fridge and like, what leftovers do we have and what do we want to heat up? And people are going to the Marvel restaurant getting whatever they want.
Or Fast and Furious at this point. It's like everybody else has figured out how to make franchises, but DC's like, let's throw Robert Pattinson. Oh, he doesn't want to work out to be Batman? Oh, that's okay. Let's see where it goes. Like,
I think what the real problem is, they end stuff before they reach their natural conclusion. No one was like, all right, it's time. Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot are kind of long in the tooth in these roles now. It's time to move on. And they could easily just go, let's switch to another Earth because we got a multiverse. And instead of doing that, they go, we're just wiping away parts of stuff that we don't want to deal with anymore. So Jason Momoa is still going to be Aquaman. Gal Gadot is still going to be Wonder Woman. Henry Cavill, we're going to find a new Superman. And we're going to get a new Batman because, and it's the old one from, Michael Keaton. And we're going to have another different one from Robert Pattinson. And we don't know how many Jokers we've got running around. Like, they really need to do a movie where they explain, hey, we have more than one Earth. And
well, okay, isn't that going to be Flash? That's what's going to be Flash. Like the Flash movie is going to be like, hey, we have a multiverse of Flash, but that means we have to trust an Ezra Miller Flash to.
Hey, wait. We're basing that initial hate on Ezra Miller on a clearly awful Josh Whedon directed version of Ezra Miller, because the Zack Snyder version was a totally different character that I liked. He wasn't falling on Wonder Woman because it was funny to have a dude fall on a woman and be like, ooh, look at that, boobies. So, yeah, we don't have that issue with this one.
And it truly does not matter what we're talking about or where we go, but anytime we go into talking about DC, we just go overboard. So I'm wrapping up this episode. We got the rest of it coming up real soon. Hopefully I will edit it in the next couple of days. But yeah, it was so much DC that I was just like, let's just make this a whole episode all to itself. So thank you out there for listening. This episode allows Movie Files has been filed.